Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. You must heal to be free. The genesis of your wellness begins the very moment you begin to build the foundation of your own self-love. Genuine happiness is true success. True happiness is genuine success. Happiness is a state of being and a state of mind that you alone create. Anyone can bring joy into your life, but only you can make yourself happy. Empty your mind. Now, fill your mind with the happiest moments of your life, and then live within the energy of those moments for the rest of your life. And that's how easy it is to be happy. Smile because you can. God wants you to be happy. You have to recognize something, brothers and sisters. You've been programmed since day one to believe what you do. For example, black and white, Puerto Rican, Italian, German, English, Irish. That's all nonsense, man. In your pre-incarnated earth state, you didn't know those things. When you were in the womb, you didn't have a Bible, a Torah, a Quran. You weren't indoctrinated into an illusionary world of hatred and illusions, false expectations, false light narratives, false energy grids. They couldn't touch you. Your mind was unreachable. That's why special needs individuals are the very essence and embodiment of heaven on earth, because the matrix cannot get to them. So therefore they have no use for them. Same with religion. Why do you think that they write in their Bible that homosexuals are an abomination in the eyes of God and they should be cast out and ostracized as pariahs? Simply because two men cannot procreate, two women cannot procreate and create newer generations for the Vatican to manipulate, monopolize, and control. So therefore they are cast out. Why do you think the wedding industry is worth billions? Because they have led you to believe that to have a child out of wedlock is an illegitimate child. It is a bastard child. It's all a bunch of garbage, man. It's all garbage. You've been lied to since day one. You got to get into a high vibration of truth, and that truth comes from the enlightenment of yourself and your own realization of who and what you are, and the identity of your being and the presence of your soul. You got to cast out all those illusions and lies that they have just filled your mind with since day one. Your very identity is a living testament to the level of unconscious social programming that you have been inundated with and bombarded by from the moment you exited the womb. Just check it. It's all real, man. Why do you think they say you're black and he's white? Because in their dictionary, black and white are opposites. But if you look at the word opposite, you'll find two words, opposite. So subliminally, they're getting you to hate somebody because they look different than you. All wars require money to wage, and they are dichotomies and polarization, trichotomies, segregation, division, separation, borders, boundaries, barriers, lines, resistance. You know, evil actively seeks conflict. If you look at the military defense budget of just this country last year, was almost like $20 trillion. Now take all of the world's armies and all of the world's nations and governments, combine that and extrapolate that figure. You get something into the quintillions, probably even higher. Now I ask you this, brothers and sisters. You name one nation on the face of this earth that spent one single red cent on peace. Go ahead, because it doesn't exist. This world shall never know peace until the day that war is no longer profitable, because war works well for them. That's why they create signs and division. You're on that side. He's on that side. Black and white. All of these lines and these labels and these descriptions they place on you. Gay, straight, heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual. I ask you this, did you consciously choose heterosexuality? So what would make you think that sexuality is a matter of choice? You've been led to believe that by religion, because that, once again, they ostracize anyone who they have deemed a homosexual, which is, there's no such thing. Everything comes from source, whether you want to believe it or not. It doesn't just materialize or manifest itself from nothingness. Source is the source of all creation, all life, all beings, not just the stuff that you jive with or that's palatable for your reality or the things that you cherry pick that you want. You know, it isn't like a buffet table where you're going to just take what you want, discard the rest, and pretend like it doesn't exist. Everything exists for reasons and purposes far beyond your mortal comprehension. Let me just tell you straight. These things have been going on long before the inception of humanity. And when humanity reaches its terminus, and it will, it's going to keep going on. And then the universe is on to the next experiment. That's why the celestials refer to this planet as Revelation Earth. It's been here long before us. It's going to be here long after we're gone. And we've transferred form to something else. So just get in conscious contact with your identity, who you are as a being, what you are as an energy, and where you're going as a soul. Very important. Just stay away from their labels, their categorizations, compartmentalizing you, dividing us, you know, putting barcodes on your forehead. It's ridiculous, man. It's crazy. It's all just a bunch of nonsense and noise. It's inconsequential frivolity, forcing you to become transfixed upon the material aspects of the cursory world. That's how they get consumerism, commercialism, superficiality, narcissism. These are empty vessels I'm speaking about, transient souls, ephemeral beings, empty minds, hollow faces, loveless. There's no empathy, no light, no compassion, no warmth, no kindness. They're just cold. You exist in a society that reveres cruelty and discourages affection. Check that out. If two people are showing affection in public, you're going to hear, ew, get a room, that's disgusting. But the very same person that said that would not mind getting 2 tickets to an MMA match, watching 2 grown men bludgeon each other to death in an octagon. But that's okay. But not hugging and kissing. You got to check the reality of it, brothers and sisters. You're not black, you're not white, you're not any of those things, man. Your energy, frequency, and vibration. Everything is energy. Everything is one. Everything is equal. We are all equal within the eyes of the Almighty. Belief is negated by truth. Doesn't matter what you believe, because these things are the actuality of eternal life. These are not my beliefs. I don't have beliefs. Beliefs are the antithesis of consciousness. They are divisive mechanisms through which that the universe deems as the scourge of the earth. But the Matrix utilizes it as psychological warfare waged against the human imagination. This is how you create lines and sides. If you look at the history of religion, there have been more wars fought over religion than any other simply because of belief systems. So why would you possess anything of a belief system? It doesn't make any sense. It's irrational, it's illogical, and it's just plain insane. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So just ask yourself. Play a pretend game. Imagine for a moment, if you will, who would you be and what would you be if they never told you at all? Imagine, just for a moment, just entertain yourself for 1 second. Taking this very seriously, ask yourself this question. Who and what would you be if they never told you at all who and what you were? If they never told you you were a man, or you were white, or Italian, or this or that, what would you be? What would you be? Who would you be? They gave you your identification. They told you you're a woman, you're black, you're a Republican, you're this, you're that, you're Catholic, you're Protestant, you're Jewish. You know, it's all nonsense. When you exit the womb, you don't only come out physically bare naked. You are bare naked to God. You are born not knowing the state of mind of man, to which the individuals behind the shadows are contriving to control your imagination and overpower your intelligence and your perception. But as you trifle along and you ambulate upon life's long and weary road and the arduous path that we all walk, you come to understand and begin to imagine what this life is really about. It's about control, manipulation, and domination. The minds of the few control the minds of the many, because when everyone is thinking the same, no one is thinking at all. And here we are. I remember when I was a kid, people were far more intelligent than they are now. But I've watched over the last 4 decades the collective intellectual level of this planet slowly devolve to such a deteriorated degree that very few people actually possess the cerebral capacity for self-thought, let alone self-action. People can't even speak clear, concise, colloquial English anymore. It's all abbreviations, clicks and whistles, and all I hear is blah, blah, blah. Media-based conversations, nothing of substance. People can't even maintain eye contact when you're having a conversation with someone. They can't even put their phone down for a second. You're programmed. You're programmed by a small cult of demons whose names you'll never know and whose faces you will never see. But there they are, controlling you. Each and every facet, aspect, and area of your life. Doesn't matter what you believe. You'll never ascend as long as you are connected to the matrix. You won't. It is a false light, false energy, false positive grid. It is comprised of a synthetic imagination, an artificial imagination. There's nothing real about it. It's an illusionary universe filled with nefarious games, surreptitious agendas, and furtive motives of others that they have for the total global domination, not only of this planet, but every member of its population thereof. So you got to just get in check with that, man. You got to really research what's going on. It's far more than some, let's just say, virus out there. The virus is fear. That's the real virus. And the pandemic is prevarication. But you got to check yourself, because if you believe anything that they're saying, then you don't control your own mind, because they have since day one. So you got to get right by yourself. If you fully intend on taking a path of consciousness, righteousness, and ascension through the enlightenment, wisdom, and awareness of your journey, then you have to disconnect from the very system that has been holding you down from day one. You cannot have dark and light and walk forward. You can be cognizant of the fact that you are comprised tantamount of both, but you can only stand in one. Because then you're going to attempt to be an in-between, which is neither an angel nor a demon. And you never know where their devotion and loyalty lies, because they never reveal it. As much as we are a part of the light, we are equally a part of the darkness. Yes, that is true, as is myself. But I consciously remove myself from the shadows, knowing that it is an intrinsic element of the nature of my being, but I consciously choose not to reside there. I'm cognizant of its proximity to the energy of my soul, but I don't feed it. I lock it away in its cage and leave it there. The primitive, the primordial, the prehistoric, the Stone Age caveman that dwells inside us all, denizen of the shadows left derelict of a time long gone by. It will never go away. That is the natural born killer within us all. But once you are in conscious contact of that, then that engages the first law of harmony, which means you are in harmonious alignment with the vibration that Source is the creator of all creation. And so it is. May peace be with you always.